How many times have you seen a homeless person on the street and thought to yourself, if only they worked a little bit harder? If only they weren't so lazy? Or perhaps you know somebody who was obese, who died of a heart attack, and you thought, why did they have to have so many Big Macs? This is known as the just world fallacy, or the just world justification. It's the whole idea that we live in a just world, and whatever happens to people, they deserve it, whether good or bad. Everything is just. Everything is deserved. In 1966, Melvin Lerner and Carolyn Simmons conducted a study that became known as the innocent victim. What they found is that when we're helpless in a situation where we see somebody else suffering, what we tend to do is devalue the victim. We tend to see them as having a more negative disposition or somehow deserving of their fate. This helps reduce our own anxiety, restoring our belief in a just world. Shortly after the infamous Milgram shock experiment, what Lerner did was something very similar and pretty much ethically questionable as well. Lerner took 75 women, divided them into a bunch of different groups, where they all watched one video. The video was ostensibly taking place in the next room of somebody, an actor, a Confederate, being shocked after getting questions wrong after 10 minutes, one shock after the other, suffering. Finally, after 10 minutes of watching this chamber of pain, the 75 women, divided into 6 different groups, were assigned to different conditions. The first condition was called the midpoint. These women were instructed that the demonstration was half over. The second condition was the reward condition. The women were told that they could vote whether it would continue for another 10 minutes or whether it would stop. After they voted, they were told that it would stop. The third condition was called reward decision. Same as the previous one, except they were not told the results of the vote. The fourth condition was called the Endpoint Condition. In this condition, they were just told that the experiment was over. That's it, done. The fifth condition was called the past event condition. Right after this, they were told that the experiment was over, but they met another victim where they saw that the victim was fine and there was nothing wrong with the victim. The sixth condition was called the Martyr Condition. Now this was the most interesting. Like the endpoint, they were told that the demonstration was over after 10 minutes. But before the video actually began, they saw the Confederate, the girl who was getting the shocks, they saw her plead that she did not want to do it. She did not want to go through with this. She wanted to back out. But the researcher explained to her that everybody's credits is on the line for this, and you would have wasted everybody's time. So all the students are really depending on her to do this. So he was appealing to her altruistic motives. So finally, for the sake of everybody else, she said, sure, go ahead. I'll go ahead and do this, no big deal. So once the experiment was over, all of the participants were asked to rate how they felt about the victim. The results provided good support for the hypothesis that when the participants could not stop the suffering, when they could not do anything about it, they devalued the victim. Now, the greatest rejection of the victim was in the martyr group. This was where the Confederate said that she didn't want to do it initially, but then after being convinced, saying that it's everybody's grades on the line and you would have wasted everybody's time, she did it for the good of the group. So the martyr condition, what they had to do was they had to devalue her the most in order to balance out that just world belief. Now, believing in a just world is not a new phenomenon. We see this every day. It wasn't very long ago that Pat Robertson was on TV saying that all of the Haitians deserved that fatal earthquake because of the deal they made with the devil a long time ago. Now, I think most of us realize that we do not live in a just world. There are very good things that happen to very bad people, and certainly very bad things that happen to very good people. But this need for a just world is so strong and so powerful that we extend it out to the next life. Maybe if this life isn't just, the next life will be. In the next life, that's when everything will be taken care of. That's when everybody will get what they deserve. Maybe, or maybe not.